Modern cannabis cultivation often behaves exactly like this pendulum. Breeders tend to push genetics as far as they can toward one extreme or the other, rarely letting the plant settle in the middle. On one end of the spectrum, you have strains engineered to induce hyper-energetic racing overdrives. On the absolute opposite end, you find heavy, sedating profiles designed to cause total physical immobilization, what consumers commonly call couch lock. Hitting a perfect middle ground between those endpoints is an incredibly difficult biological challenge. Plant genetics naturally favor dominance, meaning that selecting for high energy typically forces you to sacrifice physical relaxation, and vice versa. High-level breeding focuses on a specific outcome, finding a way to trigger sociable energy while simultaneously loosening physical tension. You do not achieve that kind of dual-action effect by accident. It requires master-level genetic matchmaking. That brings us to a highly specific answer to this botanical vacuum, a strain known as candy hearts. The plant's sweet branding reflects its flavor, but its primary function is driven by a complex chemical architecture. This particular hybrid is the direct descendant of two legendary, entirely opposing cannabis dynasties. To understand exactly how Candy Hearts delivers its dual effects, we have to reverse engineer its lineage. This plant is a highly optimized biological synthesis of two very distinct genetic lines. Looking at this macro illustration, you can see the dense crystal-like trichomes inherited from the first genetic pillar, the wedding cake strain. Wedding cake brings a highly distinct sensory profile to the hybrid, characterized by a sweet, creamy vanilla aroma and flavor. The chemical driver behind those sweet traits is a terpene known as limonene. Terpenes are aromatic compounds found in many plants, and limonene is typically associated with citrus and bright, uplifting sensory profiles. When consumed, limonene acts on the body to elevate the spirit. It interacts with the nervous system to create a profound, recognizable sense of euphoria. Those wedding cake genetics act as the engine of joy, providing the uplifting, mentally active half of the Candy Hearts experience. The second pillar of this hybrid comes from an ancient and highly revered line, OG Kush. This radar chart maps out how the parents contrast. Wedding cake pushes high on the sweet axis, while OG Kush introduces a peppery, earthy profile. The drivers pulling toward that earthy half are two terpenes, caryophyllene and myrcene, which directly soothe the body's musculature. Myrcene plays a critical secondary role alongside it, inducing a state of merciful, deep biological calm. Together, these OG Kush genetics provide a profound, stress-melting anchor. They ensure the high-energy limonene from the wedding cake side never becomes overwhelming. Because of that careful genetic matching, consuming Candy Hearts produces a very distinct chronological experience, starting the moment of the first sensory hit. The inhale is entirely dominated by the wedding cake genetics. It hits the palate with pure, creamy vanilla. The exhale, however, unveils the OG Kush lineage. The sweetness drops away, presenting a sudden, sophisticated finish that is notably spicy and earthy. The mental onset follows immediately. Driven by the limonene, a wave of giggly, heart-swelling sociability gently illuminates the mind. Then, the physical onset begins. The caryophyllene and myrcene complex creates a warm, comforting release that relaxes the muscles thoroughly without causing total immobilization. That seamless, staggered transition from mental euphoria straight into physical comfort is the ultimate proof of its perfectly balanced genetic design. But that perfect calibration also brings a level of physical potency that requires caution. Precisely because these genetics are paired so effectively, the physiological effects hit hard. Mindful consumption is essential, especially for newer users. As always, obey Florida's state regulations regarding consumption and consult licensed medical professionals for any profound healing needs. When you look at how these opposing traits unite in this diagram, the core achievement of this strain becomes entirely clear. In a market defined by polar opposites, Candy Hearts provides a functional blueprint for achieving true biological balance.
What was I?